Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video, and today we are back on F2 2023 here on Monoposto MyCareer, and round 3 will take place here in the Spanish Grand Prix in a dry qualifying session, and most importantly a wet race. So for the first time this season we can now finally see how these F2 cars will handle in the rain. We already know the tyre wear is absolutely poor in the dry conditions, so we have no idea what to expect here in the wet conditions and who can actually adapt to the conditions quickly enough and get up to speed. But for now, let us move on and have a look at the qualifying results. And do not ignore that. Yeah, you didn't see that. It was a beautiful piece of driving there. But let's have a look at the qualifying results. So Yadder has taken pole by a 1/10 of a second. Meanwhile, I think Prema will be very worried that none of their cars got into the top 3. Meanwhile, Kakuli, out of nowhere, got in P7. So big well done to him. Championship leader Flyer is in P10. He has a lot of work to do as we're now revving up to 5 red lights here for the Spanish Grand Prix. And the race is underway here as it's a brilliant start from, I believe that is TB95. He's already attacking Piastri. Meanwhile, Yadder has had a good enough start, running into turn 1, trying to block the inside line, and he does a good job of it. Ryden will try and fight back here through turn 2 and 3, but he is already too far back, and Yadder has the lead of the Grand Prix. TB did a great job here, overtaking Piastri and Leclerc. Up into P3 he goes. Kakuli down to P9. TB already fighting Ryden here for P2. Round the outside at turn 4. And he's on the grass. A lot of drivers are going on the grass here. So driving standards really need to be questioned. But Yadder is leading. We are looking at the fight for P4 here. Round turn 9 goes Dennis Hauger, and he will try and get ahead of Oscar Piastri. He can't seem to get the move done. Down the inside, he could have a look at his teammate as well, but he will try and focus on getting that P4, and he'll get it done even before the next corner. Dennis Hauger up into P4. Yadder still in the lead, ahead of Ryden. Beginning of lap 2, and the Prema cars are getting on with it. Both of them have used up their battery, and Hauger is in the lead ahead of TB95. Yadder is into P3, Ryden down to P4, and now TB will go down the inside and still using the battery, and that has really paid off for him. He is leading the Grand Prix by 2 seconds now as we look to the man in P5, Broby, who had a very difficult mid-season in last season's championship. He is running in P5 now, and hopefully he's looking to kickstart his campaign. Meanwhile, Yadder, another Red Bull Junior Academy driver, is making a move here. Yadder wants to lead back, but he's got a 1.5 second gap to catch, and I don't think he'll be able to do it as quickly as he would like. But time is of the essence, he better get on with it. Moving forward here onto the end of lap 2, and while one Prema is really excelling in the lead, another is falling down the field. Hauger has been overtaken by Piastri, and Ryden with incredible straight line speed going into turn 1. Can he get all the way up into P2? Wheel to wheel with the Red Bull Junior Academy driver, and down the inside at turn 3. Ryden up into second. We are now looking at the battle for P3. Hauger is really just about keeping in there. He's using up the battery. He now stopped using it because he's being completely blocked, and I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. Meanwhile, the leaders are starting lap 4. We are now looking at our championship leader, Flyer, who is vowed to use the wet tyre, and it isn't really going well for him compared to his teammate Ryden, who is actually catching up with the Greek man in the lead. As we're looking back at Crawford, who is also struggling. He's on the intermediates, but he makes a wonderful move round the outside of Kakuli and Snippy. And that is a contender for move of the season there for Crawford. He can maybe get his race kick-started and try and get in the points. And talking of points being taken, Ryden takes the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix. The Prema is really now starting to struggle for pace, and he's going to need a response immediately if he wants to win here in the Spanish Grand Prix. Ryden in the lead ahead of TB, ahead of Piastri, and I don't think the Greek will give up using the battery to try and go round the outside, going into the chicane. Will he be able to make a move? Wheel to wheel, and TB round the outside at the final corner. Lovely overtake But it isn't over there, because now Raiden will use his own battery to come back at him, and Raiden retakes the lead going into lap 5, and we could have a final lap battle of the ages here in Formula 2. While Raiden took the lead of the race, we are now seeing Flyer fighting for the low-end points, fighting Leclerc on the wet tyre round the outside. Wonderful move from Flyer. The championship leader gets ahead of 2 cars, exactly what Crawford did. And now Flyer is up into P7, and he will claim 2 championship points. Meanwhile, the battle for P3 between Hauger, Piastri and Yadder is still going on. Yadder has fallen back, and Piastri is up into 3rd. Well, we're not sure where the pace came from here for the MP Motorsport car, but it has been simply incredible from the Portuguese man Raiden. He will begin the final lap. He is a mile ahead of the rest of the field, and this is really reminiscent of when I was racing for MP Motorsport back in the 2021 season. And talking of MP Motorsport, Calais has re-overtaken Flyer. Meanwhile, Martin is still at the back of the field. I actually had no idea he was over there, but there's clearly some issue with the Charouse. Meanwhile, back into the battle for the top 10, and Crawford making a very questionable move, but now Raiden will take the victory here. He's got a few corners to go. TB is now pushing with everything he has, but I don't think it will be enough. Raiden round the final corner to claim an MP Motorsport victory once again. Raiden will win the Spanish Grand Prix. What a victory for the Portuguese man, saving the tyres and executing that strategy perfectly. TB in P2, Piastri in P3, Yadder in P4, Hauger 5th, Roby will claim his first points of the season in 6th, and Flyer will get beat to the line not only by Calais, but Chris as well. And that is your top 8 here today. What a race here in Spain in the wet conditions, and if we have more races like that this year, we could be in for a brilliant F2 championship fight. But that will end today's video, everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.
To live like golden, yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see it shine.